Alright, we're going to do a tutorial here with Audacity. I'm going to show you how to edit some music. We're going to open up Audacity in our window here. I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to open up the Hot Dog song. This is mainly for teachers who want to edit some music for use in the classroom or on a concert. So we're going to open this up. And here's our song. You can kind of see here we have both audio and visual here. We're going to take this part out right here. This is the long, well, not very long, but this is the instrumental part in the beginning or in the middle of the piece. I don't want all of this, so I'm going to take some of it out. You can see here the wave, and it helps you see kind of where you want to cut the music. You can kind of follow that. We're going to play this here. And that's right there is where I want to cut it. So I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to start my highlight right there. Now, if you have it on pause, you can't use any of these edit buttons. You can't do anything at all. So you have to push stop. When you have a little bit edited like or highlighted like this, it can be real helpful. It'll just play that highlighted part, which is nice if you need to play over and over again. I'm going to go ahead and drag this out here and get an idea. Okay, so that's where I want to end the edit. So I'm going to just go over here. I'm going to drag this back to where I want it and get pretty close. I'm going to go up here and click on the magnifying glass a couple of times, and that's going to make it much bigger, much easier to see. That looks pretty good right there. I'm going to move that just a hair. You may not think that's a big deal, but it's the difference between a really nice smooth edit and one that is kind of herky-jerky. Obviously need to move this one a bit back to here. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to hit the cut button, and that's just going to take that right out. Now if you have it magnified that much, sometimes it's kind of hard to see where exactly your cut is. So one thing that you can do is just push play, and there's my cut right there. So I'm just going to go back here and play a little bit before it. And I cut too much out there. So what I'll do if I have done something like that is I'm going to go back here and push the back button or the undo button. And I'm pretty sure I want to take this actually back to right about here. So we'll play that. And right there is where I want to take this back to. So I'm going to take my little, I'm going to click and drag this back here. Again, I'm going to make it bigger with magnifying glass, make sure I like it, like where it is. And there is that cut. I'm going to try it and see what it sounds like. And that is just what I want. So if you want to see the whole project, you can go up here and push the fit in window. I'll put the whole project, no matter how long it is, in the window. You can play the whole thing if you want. I know this song, I know that's what I want, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to click on File and Save Export as MP3. I'm going to change the name. I'm going to save it to the desktop because that kind of helps me get things where I need it. And so now I'll go here and minimize that, and there it is right there. I'm going to double click on that. That'll automatically import it into iTunes and put it in the proper folder in my library. Now you'll notice that I changed the name here, but in iTunes when it imports it, for some reason, it doesn't say edit. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and change the name, and that way I can keep it difference between that, know the difference between that and my regular track. And that's how you do that. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this because I already have this done. Now we're going to do a different one. We're going to go ahead and get rid of this and go up to File, Open. If let's say you want to loop something, you want to make something longer, I'm going to open up Piece Round or Piece Cannon. And here is our piece right here. I'm going to loop this section of it. And let's listen to it.
What a goodly thing if the children of the world could dwell together in peace. What a goodly thing if the children...
So I want to get this part right here. I want to loop that and do it twice. So I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to make it bigger so I can make sure it's exactly where I want it. Just adjust the ends just a bit. I'm going to go over here to the copy button. I'm going to deselect everything that I had selected there. I'm going to put that cursor right where it would, right where I want it to start, and I'm going to hit paste. And that should get me exactly what I want. I'm going to go back here and play the beginning of it and see how it sounds. That one sounds good. Let's check the end. And that's a good cut and paste there, a good loop. So again, you can fit it in the window and play the whole thing if you want. We're going to go ahead and export as MP3. Again, I'm going to change the name, put edit on there, and save. And then we'll go up here, and if you, I'm going to go ahead and exit this. It's going to ask you if you want to save your project. The only time you need to do that is if you are going to come back and change the edits you've already made. I'm not going to, so I'm going to hit no. If you have a complex edit, one that you're going to work on several sessions, you need to save it. Otherwise, you can just export it as MP3 and save it. Same thing, double click on it, put it into iTunes, change the name in iTunes to keep it separate from the other track. And that's how you do a basic loop. We're going to do one more here. This one is going to be, if you have older tracks on some of the curriculum in elementary music, sometimes the you'll have a 2-track stereo track, and one of them will be like the instrumental. This lower one's the instrumental, and then the upper one is the vocal. And you would just turn your CD player over to the left channel, and the back in the day. But if you need it for a concert, you want to have a stereo track. So we're going to go up here, and we're going to split this stereo track. And I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to highlight. Just click in this field right here, this little box, anywhere in there, and it will highlight that track. I'm going to go over here, I'm going to cut that out. And then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to highlight the instrumental track. I'm going to copy. And then I'll go over here and click on the other track, the right channel, and paste. And then I have a stereo instrumental track that's going to sound much better in a concert. And that's how you do that. And then you save it and export it and change the name and put it back into iTunes. And that is how you remove the vocal track from those old curriculum tracks that have one track that is vocal and one that's instrumental, and have a stereo instrumental track. Well, what you can do here, if you want to make that a stereo track, just go back up here, click on stereo track, make stereo track, and then it will be all one piece, and you can edit those as a group again. A few other things you can do. There's some effects that you can do here. If you highlight everything, you can go up here to Amplify. I did this to amplify my voice for this so that it would be the right volume. Basically, you want to look at your wave there. You don't want it to be bigger than the field that each individual wave is in. So I'm going to move this slider up and down. Generally, you want to take what's recommended. It'll come up with a recommendation already. You have to click this box, Allow Clipping, because if it's any bigger than the field here, it will automatically clip it off as it gets to the edge of the field here. You can see down here it went over the edge of the field, so I had to click that box, Allow Clipping, so that it could clip that off and avoid distortion of the sound. So you can see that's much louder now. If you don't like it, or if you want to do a different level, you can hit the undo button. Another thing that I use quite a bit is changing the speed or the tempo. That if you click on change speed, I don't use this one hardly ever, because if you click on it, I use change tempo a lot more. If you click on it, you'll see at the top here it says change speed, affecting both tempo and pitch, and you generally don't want to do that. I use change tempo quite a bit, and you can do beats per minute and make an adjustment there, or you can use a slider. I usually just use the slider. Sometimes I do beats per minute if I know what I want, but that will make it go faster without changing, or slower without changing the pitch. If you highlight a small section and go to fade in, it will do just that. Here's what that sounds like. So, and you can also do the same thing with a fade out. You just highlight the section that you want to fade in or fade out. Noise removal is something I use if I want to remove some background noise. You have to highlight a small section, click Get Noise Profile, and then you go back again and highlight the entire piece. And then you go up here and select remove noise, and it will do just that from your entire piece. Or in this case of my narration here, what I did was highlight a section that just had not my voice, but just kind of the background hiss that you get when you record anything, and I removed that from the entire piece, so that you didn't have to listen to this hissing, only my voice, get a better quality. So fade in and fade out, change tempo, and amplify. Those are the ones that I use the most. The fade in and fade out also comes in handy, like if you have a more complex edit and you want to add a stereo track. Let's say we wanted to take part of this and put it in a new track. What you go up here do is go up here and add a new audio track. I have that split there. You don't really need to do that unless you want to just take one part. Let's say you just want to take a section from one track, not both tracks. So if I just push paste, it's going to put it at the beginning there. I'm going to generate some silence here. That generate silence is also really handy. And well, I didn't put the cursor in the right place. Let's do that again. Generate silence right there. and you can pick the amount of seconds down to the decimal point, and I'm going to put it right at the end there and push paste. So then I can take something from one track and put it in a different place in the song if I need to do that. If you have a more complex loop, or if you have something just a little more complex that you're doing in your edit, that comes in handy. So play around with this. I hope it was helpful and have fun.